Memorabilia is a collection that captures the humor and essence of our childhoods. All of us are coming from different parts of the world. It's a mix of memories some will relate to, others won't. We aim to pair childhood familiarities with provocative and edgy style of Balenciaga. To do so, we developed toolboxes around hardware, finishing, and shape, playing with scales being the center of our playground. While developing the first silhouette in the first part of the semester, we collectively ended up with quite a diverse line. We then walked through them as a group, and each one of us started designing. The silhouettes I developed were directly from my first lineup tryout, with refined details to ensure the guidelines were respected. The first idea I came up was a blazer, high precise, with no outside elements so that the attention is not taken away from the shape. The idea here was to represent this memory of a child stealing his dad's blazers. After the first fitting, most changes were on the balance. Next one though, we discussed the making of all those pockets inside of the blazer, Inspector Gadget inspired. I then started realizing them documenting different types of pockets. I first looked into military and tech wear. I ended up going with combination of inspiration I found with classic tailored felt pocket. One of the most exciting combination being the snack pocket. The following fittings and relations classes, the shoulder pads and placement color situation were addressed. Everything was going quite well and I left the hand stitching lining for the hand, used slack back when I realized I forgot about the facings. Out of fabric and time, I dyed some leftovers and placed them in. My next garment is the non-pen, a suit pen constructed as a pair of jeans. Here I aim to challenge the adulthood seriousness of the trousers with the casualness of the timeless kidwear essential, the jeans, as well as adding some scaled-up details and multiple belt loops. I first looked into Balenciaga suit pants for shape and fabric references. I ended up using Terlanka, a variation of polyester, as I saw polyester was their main fabric choices for trousers. Making the patterns, where I manually made them from scratch for the blazer, I went for using cloth for this one. The time gain was huge and the patterns really accurate, as I designed them on the avatar with my model measurement in. At the fitting, the fit almost perfectly. Only the back yoke needed adjustment for design preferences, as well as the stitches parameters. Indeed, Terlanka is quite flowy as a fabric, so I tried different stiffening techniques for the top stitch parts. While working on the pants, I also started my knit garment. For this one, I wanted to reach a comfort point. Knit is really linked to a specific childhood memory for me, the grandma making knitted item for the grandchildren. I found this thread called eyelash thread that really translates this soft, comforting feeling. While experimenting with the thread, I tried knitting a placement print and worked, making the knit patterns in Photoshop. Sadly, it didn't work as the knit texture was way too fluffy. I then went with embroidering on top of it. Mommy's favorite boy was the phrase to go for. Double-sided, reminiscent of the shirt we showcased as children, or controversial when associated with adult. I realized the pattern in cloth and realized the knit panels. Unfortunately, the elastics shrank down after being out of the machine, and I couldn't go bigger as I already used the entire needle row. The jumper then faced some sizes changes, not being as oversized as wanted, and dropping the sleeves as the weight of my back and front panel were already lots. Presenting my lineup, I wanted to match Balenciaga college aesthetic they used in one of their previous lookbook. I made my illustrations mixed media style and then used a video game page as a background to bring the concept touch in. The very last part of this project for me was the shooting of the videos and pictures. For those, I went with playing with camera's angle and had plenty of fun.